How you doing, Cali Crowd? The Frog-Handstand program is now live on calisthenics.com, and in celebration of that, we're going to be doing a Frog-Handstand follow-along tailored specifically for absolute beginners. In fact, there'll be no balancing as part of this whole workout today, and it's going to be inspired off of level 1, week 1 of the program. Go and check it out if you are interested in getting a little bit more help with your Frog-Handstand. But today, we're going to be jumping straight into it, but I'm going to assume that you have already done a warm-up. But if you need a warm-up, there'll be one link down below. Focus on warming up the wrists and the shoulders specifically when it comes to handstand work. We're going to jump straight into it with some hollow body holds. Okay, so what you want with a hollow body hold is to lie down on your back, eliminate any space under your lower back, send your legs out and your arms above the head to create this disc shape. We're just going to hold it for 10 seconds. 8, 9, 10. If this is a little bit too difficult for you, there will be a regression where you can just hold your knees slightly closer to you. We're just going to take a break for 60 seconds. With handstands, everything about the handstands is about understanding where our body is in space. And the better we can do that, the better we can hold a handstand. What the hollow body does is it just gets us better at creating that long shape without the pressure of our weight being above us. So we're going to go for one more set of our hollow body holds, another 10-second rep. And again, if you find that a little bit difficult, bring your knees in towards you. Let's go for our next set, hollow body holds. You can eliminate any space under your lower back, send your legs out, arms above your head, this shape, breathe, 10 seconds. And relax. Okay, cool. So those are 2 hollow body holds. In the program, the next exercise we have is the chest to wall handstand. Now, with the chest to wall handstand, all you will need is a wall. And what we're going to do is we're going to aim to get our feet up against the wall. Now, you can cartwheel into it, or you can walk your way back into it. I personally prefer to jump straight into it. And what we're looking to do is create a straight line from our hands all the way to our feet by squeezing the glutes. If you struggle with this, feel free to only go as far out as you can, but we're just going to hold this for 10 seconds. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, what you'll find with chest to wall handstands is it will feel really difficult when you begin. You'll really struggle with understanding how to create that straight shape. That's why it's really, really important to just push as tall as you can and use the wall as much as possible and film yourself. That's how we understand how to create that straight line, that efficient line. If we can stack toes over knees, over hips, over shoulders, over wrists, that just makes holding the handstand far less strength taxing. Okay, we're gonna go for another set, 10-second hold. And again, if you struggle with this at all, take that lean further out from the wall. It will just mean that over time, as you get a little bit stronger, you can slowly scale how close you get to the wall. Let's go again. Eight, 9, and 10. Now, we've just done the handstand against the wall. We're going to come along and we're going to do the basic frog stand, and it's in stitching these two bits together which will get us our frog to handstand. Okay, so with the basic frog stand, what we're looking to do is we're looking to make that frog stand shape, but still lean a little bit on the feet to support us a little bit with that balance. Now, we're going to get our hands on the floor, shoulder width apart. What we want to do is grip the ground with our fingertips. And what we're going to do is twist those elbow pits facing forward, send the knees on top of the triceps. We're going to slowly lean forward, and we're going to allow our toes to lightly, ever so lightly, support us with the frog stand, and we're going to hold it here for 20 seconds. Make sure you breathe. And relax. What you'll find with many of the exercises in this program, we'll have the standard exercise and you'll see a regression or a progression if you want to make the exercise a little bit harder for yourself, a little bit more challenging. With the basic frog stand, just for that entry level, this is week 1, level 1, remember? This gets us started with understanding how the frog stand works. And then with later progressions, we're going to go into the frog stand itself as we build up more strength to be able to do that. Though, again, fully appreciate there'll be many of you out there that can probably jump straight into the frog stand anyway. Building those foundations is always going to be great when it comes to laddering up to higher tier skills. What I like about the frog stand as well is it's really good at helping us understand how to distribute our weight across our fingertips, across this area of our hands as well. I always call it the reverse underside of the knuckles, and the heel of our palms. We want to be able to be better at understanding when we need to push down with our fingertips, relieve that pressure, and push down again with the heel of our hands. It's this rocking motion forward and back in the basic handstand, which is going to help us understand how we need to balance better. And as well, on top of all of that, when it comes to actually pressing out of the handstand, because it's essentially a miniature handstand push-up, not to scare you, a lot of that strength becomes easier if we can understand how to deliver keep our weight in this area of the hand, which means these two areas have to do a fair bit of work. We're going to jump into one more set of the basic frog stand, and then we're going to go for another slightly longer break as this is slightly more intense. Okay, basic frog stand. 20 seconds. And relax. Whenever it comes to high intensity strength work, we want longer breaks so that we can recover. With our handstands, quality is always the most important. We're essentially reorienting our body in space. And when it comes to handstand, longer breaks, higher quality is just of paramount importance. I'd argue quality is important for everything, but we want to make sure that we're working with quality. Our next exercise is going to be one that we all know. It is going to be the basic push-up. Nothing special about it, but the benefits that come from it are incredible. You might be wondering why we're doing a horizontal pressing exercise when it comes to a vertical pressing exercise skill. And that's because when it comes to pushing, we want to just build the broadest base that we can. The triceps, the delts, the chest all play a role when it comes to handstand pressing. Getting those as strong as possible early on is how we're going to build up all of that strength going forward. So let's jump straight into it with some push-ups. Okay, we're going to be going for 8 reps. If you struggle with push-ups, don't hesitate to get something that you can lean on and you can push up that way. We're going to be doing it on the ground. I'm going to be going for 8 reps. Slow and controlled. Excellent. Again, with the programs, what you'll find with every exercise is you'll see an exercise, you'll see a regression or a progression, depending on which you prefer, the level of challenge you want to give yourself. What you'll also see in the programs is a tempo. So the tempo dictates how we want to break that exercise up in terms of how fast we want to do the eccentric, the lowering phase, how long we want to hold that bottom position, how fast we want to do the concentric, the shortening phase, and then how hard we want to hold that top position as well. So in the case of the push-up that we just did, that was a 1-1-1 tempo. And what we're going to do is use that as another variable that we can toggle with when it comes to exercising as well. Because as we know, a slow eccentric can typically help us build more strength. A fast concentric can help us build up to more power-based movements. Toying with all of those levers is how we can make our bodyweight exercises slightly more difficult without augmenting much else. It's a very simple way to do it, and it can be damn difficult if we really want to play with those as well. Okay, next set of push-ups, straight into it. 8 reps again. Perfect. Okay. So that's the lion's share of our strength work done. Now what we want to do is when it comes to handstands, we want to wrap up on conditioning. Building at end range strength is how we get our handstands to the point where we can just do them extremely easily because our muscles are prepared to do them. And when it comes to end range strength for the handstand, it's that shoulder flexion, being able to get our hands up over our head. That usually is the biggest challenge for many of us, and it is deceptively difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into what I call the prone eye raise. So we're going to literally lie face down on the floor, create that tension by squeezing the bum, hands straight in front of us, and we're just going to lift our hands over our head as high as possible. Hold it here and relax. Now you may find that you're not able to lift your hands up actually that high. No worries. It's an isometric, so as high as you can lift them is what we're going to be working to here. And over time, you'll find that you build that strength, especially when this is paired with the chest to wall handstands that we did earlier. Okay, we're going to jump into another set, 10 seconds. Really try and make sure all of that comes from the shoulder. We want to be really forcing that arm up over our head. Let's go for it. Final set, 10-second hold. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Nine, 10, and relax. Crowd, that is it. That is it for week 1, level 1 of frog to handstands. This might seem extremely simple, but that's what we want to start with. The program takes us from being absolutely zero when it comes to handstand pressing, when it comes to any handstand pushing strength, to be honest, and takes us to a point where we're doing handstand presses against the wall, handstand push-ups, to eventually doing the frog to handstand in free space. With these skills, building out that base level foundation is so important, but starting from a place where we can all be able to visualize that starting position and getting us to a point where we can do unreal things is that first hurdle, because when we look at skills like the frog to handstand, sometimes it can be intimidating. So if you are interested, go and take a look at the description down below. It'll be pinned as well, frog to handstand. It's now live. You guys have been asking for it for ages. hopefully I finally delivered for you. Check this out, do this workout in your free time if you want, level it up on your own, or if you need that further support, go check out the programs. And crowd, I'll see you in the next one.